Alrighty, well, camera failure on the first take, so we're going to do it again. My first Dodge Stealth that I bought was in 1993. Pretty much a brand new car. I recognized right away that these cars, the engine compartment runs hot. So what I did was on that car, and I've continued the tradition here, is the back two studs, I don't use nuts on them. Instead, I put some plastic tubing over the threads, use a couple of zip ties to hold it onto the threads to make it nice and tight. Plus, that acts as a stop so that the hood blister stays open a certain amount to let air escape from there, both when you're driving and when you're sitting still. It works better at this height when you're sitting still, not when you're driving. When you're driving, it's the effect is minimal. It's when you stop the car and you've parked it. It helps reduce the heat soak. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is because this nut right here loosened up. It loosened up so there was only 2 or 3 threads holding the nut on, which made the front part of this very loose. See how it shifts up and down? Made it loose. What that did in turn is when you're driving down the highway, anything over really 60 miles an hour or so, I got to do better documentation to see what miles per hour it does it at. But when the negative pressure going over the hood pulls these up like this. And then when you slow down or stop, they drop back down like that. So what I've done is on these studs, I've used some number 2 Loctite on them so that they're locked in place, because I don't want one of them falling off, because then my hood blisters will fly off the car. So these are basically glued into place now. I've done both sides. I did that side. That side was the accidental side. So I loosened that stud up. And now the driver's side does the same thing. And it goes up and down. And you could probably throw some type of silicone lubricant on there to make it work a little bit more smoothly. But it works. When you're going over bumps and stuff, there's enough vibration that thing just drops right down to where it's supposed to be. So to limit the opening, what you can do is put your zip ties on your tubing. Obviously, the higher up you put the zip ties, the less the opening is going to be. And I know this is working because right here is the temperature sensor for the indoor-outdoor thermometer that I have installed in the car.